Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this edition of our webinar today. As many of you guys know, we did have a release last night, and we're doing this webinar to essentially go over the features that were released last night, so you get a better understanding of how to utilize them for your business right away. So I'm just resizing my screen. I have a widescreen monitor, so it doesn't look great on the recording. All right. So can everyone just type in yes if you can see my screen and you can hear me, so we can make sure we can start this webinar and I'm not just talking to myself. True story, once I did a webinar for an hour and no one was hearing me. So I'm just trying to avoid that. Now, Denise, you've message here that you don't have a mic. You don't need a mic. This is just me talking. You can just essentially listen to our conversation. If you don't have a speaker on your computer, you're also able to call in to the number provided on the audio section to listen in to the session as well. All right, now that everyone is here, we can start the webinar. Now, we did have the release that we had last night. We had 3 features that were released with it, which we're very, very excited about. One of the features that we released, is the dashboard function. Many of you guys are already familiar with dashboard. This was actually one of the most successful features that we released over the last little while, and we've received tons and tons of great positive feedback from all of you guys since the day of the release. Now, in addition to the positive feedback, we've also had some requests, some things that you guys wanted for the dashboard to do, which we didn't have enabled, in the beginning. So we wanted to make sure that we address those feedback. And as you know, our development is always based on the feedback that we receive from clients. So if you're one of those clients that have been providing us feedback in regular basis, please make sure you continue doing that. We're not going to be able to improve if we don't hear it from you and get your positive feedbacks or constructive feedback on these features. Now, with our existing dashboard application, we've did a few different things to be able to make it just that much better. One of the things that we wanted to actually allow more ranges for the dashboard statistics on the bottom. So, as you know, in the past we had this week, this month, this quarter, and this year, but we wanted to also give you ability to look back. And so we've added a few options such as last quarter, last year, and also an ability for you to have a custom month. So if you want to go back to any month or any year in the past, you're able to actually go back to be able to review your stats for that month. And those stats are the same as you had in the past. So how many leads you gained on that month, how many appointments you had, intro 1s and 2s, new students or students lost, or financial information of how much money you've collected from memberships, products, exams, and so on and so forth. Now, we just didn't want to stop there. We wanted to actually take that to the next step. And that is to be able to actually give you the right information so you can compare yourself and see if you're getting better or worse on all these statistics. So what we've done, we actually have now a new function, which is a new range field. So it allows you to compare yourself with variety of different ranges. So for example, if I choose last quarter, I'm going to be able to compare all my statistics to quarter before that or the same quarter last year. So it gives you a really good ability to analyze the statistics that you have and understand if you're getting better or worse. And on the areas that require more attention, you can focus on that and see how you can improve it. What we've done to make it even easier for you to analyze those stats, we've included percentages that show you if you've improved or, unfortunately, you've declined on those statistics. So as you see here, it seems like quarter before I was doing so terrible that with 9 leads I'm 800% improved. And as you see, it says leads, I have 9 now, and it's 800% improvement compared to quarter before. And if I hover over this percentage, it says last quarter or quarter before, you only had 1. And that's why it's an 800% improvement. This is the same actually along all the statistics that we have on the bottom. So for the appointments, intros, new students and students lost, to also all the financial details. If you're making more membership sales or more product sales, and or other type of sales, it could be event or exam, depending on what items you sell. So that's one of the actual enhancements that we have. But we didn't want to stop there. We want to still take it to the next level for you. And that is to really understand this. This is a comment that we got a lot since developing, the dashboard application. We want you to have the ability to understand. Okay, last quarter I had 9 leads. Who are these 9 leads? Where do they stand at this point? We wanted to actually be able to answer all those questions for you as well. So what we've done, we've introduced a new function that I would like to call it is drill down. So what you're able to do on any of these numbers that you're interested in, you're able to simply click on the number and see all those, basically records that create that number for you. For example, when it says 9 leads, who are the 9 leads that I got last quarter? And you'll be able to actually see a quick list. And as I'm looking in the back, you see that one of the leads that I had is now an active student. This tells me, oh, great, and the leads that I've got last quarter, I've already been able to actually convert one of them. Or you can follow up on the ones that you have, not been able to successfully convert. In addition to just providing the names, we wanted to actually make sure that you have the right information so you can actually take the next additional step. So we show you what campaign they came from, when did they become a lead, and it's going to be sorted by this field. It's not going to be sorted by name. It's going to be sorted with the most logical value, but it could be customized. If you want to, sort by another column here, you're able to simply do that by just clicking on the column header. The phone number, so if you have to make calls, you can make calls quickly right from the screen. It tells you the appointment. What this field is, this is actually quite a special column. What it does, it tells you what was the last type of appointment that they've actually attended to. So it could be here you would be able to see intro 1, intro 2, intro 3, different types of information so you understand where that lead is at that given moment. The date of the appointment and if they attended or didn't attend. So it shows you the last scheduled, appointment and if they've attended or not. Now, if you want to learn more from any of these leads and find out, what's going on with them, you're able to now still click on their name to be able to go into their detailed file and extract other types of information or record an activity or find out if they've opened the last email you sent them, or a variety of different things that you are probably aware of today. Let's go back to dashboard because we actually have more exciting news here. So just before I go to another function that we've enhanced, this information that I just showed you, it's true for really most of the numbers that you see here. So for students lost, the same thing. So you'll be able to find out which students you lost. Obviously, this is a test student. Hopefully, you guys don't have a student with that name. New students, and really all those information. Now, another thing that we've got a feedback about and we wanted to also improve on is on the financial performance section. So the financial performance section, as you know, it really grouped your revenue based on different categories of products that you sell. So it could be a membership product, or item. It could be a product itself. So it could be gloves or uniforms or variety of different items that you sell. Or it could be a negative amount of expenses. So if you're tracking your expenses into the system, it could be a good, profit and loss for you here. And also other type of events or, items that you sell. If you're collecting funds for exams, if you're collecting funds for special events, for seminars, for workshops, for all that stuff, it would actually show up here in this section where we call financial performance. But what we wanted to do is just take that to the next level. A lot of people ask the question, all right, I see that I have $542.50 in membership revenue. But what is that? What type of memberships I've sold? From, karate versus yoga, how does that split? From kickboxing to, basically Muay Thai. How does it, how does that, how have been the sales? Which product and which style I'm actually making more sales on? So what you're able to do now is to click on this plus icon and be able to actually show you not only how many memberships you sold under each style and program, and how much revenue we collected so far. But in addition, we actually compare that statistics again with the last quarter, or the value selected here. So giving you really all the information you need to make the right business decisions and be able to actually take your business to the next level so it can succeed. You want to now learn more of what were those 5 cells. You're able to click on this value and you'll be able to simply see all the membership sales that you had, to which people you sold it to, what is the amount, when did it start, those payments start, what type of product or membership it was, and really understand what has been done in your business. Now, before we move to the next feature, just type in how excited you guys are about this feature. I'm seeing a lot of love that. Thank yous. Great feature. Awesome. So we know we're doing our job well if, we got happy thumbs up and cool messages here. All right. So now that we're on the positive note and everyone's excited, we're going to move on to our next feature. And obviously we will have time for, questions at the end of the session. So we can always go back and, answer all the questions that you might have in regards to this feature or any other features that I explain. Now, one of the features that we released and again got huge positive feedback from all of you guys was the check-in feature. I know everyone in this room loves the check-in feature, and what we knew, it's in order for us to be able to keep you guys constantly happy, we have to do more. We have to continuously make this feature better. One of the main feedbacks that we got from the from the check-in feature was ability to really display this screen to students, and having them or giving them the ability to scanning in or checking in themselves. Now, as you guys know, a lot of you guys are busy, a lot of you guys are a 1 or 2 man show, and you need to do the more important jobs at the business, and that might not necessarily be attending people into the class, but you want to still keep track of your attendance. So what we wanted to do, we wanted to deliver an ability for you to be able to get people to just check in themselves. So guess what? We developed a feature called self-check-in. Just going to load up the screen as I already have it loaded up and move it over. So this is our new self-check-in window. The new self-check-in window, it's responsive, meaning that it can fit any screen size. So if you're loading it up on your tablet, on your mobile device, on your widescreen monitor, on your different sizes of monitor, your laptop, your finger touch laptop, it doesn't matter what screen size it is, what type of device it is. If it has a browser and it has a screen, this will work on. So the reason we built this function is really giving you the ability to check in your, or having members checking in themselves. So the ideal situation would be that you have a monitor facing your students, a keyboard, and a mouse, or a finger touch monitor, whichever works best for you guys. If you want to be very fancy, obviously finger touch monitor is a way to go. And having or giving the ability to your students to just come in and scan, or either scan their name using their ID card or type in their name, right? So let's say, imagine I'm a student and happen to be Bruce Lee, right? I'm going to pick the good students. And first, you're going to, see the confirmation window like this. And as you saw, as I'm typing, the system gives me suggestions, so I don't have to type in my full name. First, it says, "Is this you?" And it displays a picture of me as a student and my name. So, and the reason we do this is because we know there are, multiple students in your business might have the same name, or, name that's very close to each other. So the first step is I'm going to confirm that this is me. Again, I'm Bruce Lee. The second step is because there are multiple classes happening at 1 o'clock, and it's coming up, I can choose which class I want to attend to. And that's a setting that you can enable, disable, and we'll get there. But it gives me the option. Says, okay, Bruce, you're eligible to attend all these classes because you're so good. There's really no class that we could not have you attended. And well, which one do you want to attend? I don't want to go to the beginner. I think I know those skills, so I want to attend the intermediate one. I check that box, and right away you get a welcome message. And guess what? It's Bruce Lee's birthday, so it's going to also get a happy birthday message. Now you could do this with multiple, basically criterias, and the most important part of this is that, it really gives the ability for people to attend themselves without having the ability to see too much information from one member to another, or be able to wander off to, in your PerfectMIND application and, interact with data that they shouldn't have access to. So another thing that it's interesting with this feature that we released, we're going to go back to the main check-in window, is that everything actually happens live on the screen as well. So, as I refresh the main check-in window, you see that Bruce Lee did actually attend the intermediate class. So, you'll be on top of what's going on your main screen, so you'll have a better understanding who's coming in, who's not in yet. And one thing we wanted to do, as we understand every business is slightly different from one another, we wanted to actually give you that flexibility to be able to customize certain function of this. So what you're able to do, you're able to actually now click on settings, and we have a brand new setting window that's going to give you all the tools you need to fully customize the attendance experience at your business. So we're going to go from top to bottom. Some of these functions already existed in the system. We just renamed it to make it easier for you to understand it. We know we haven't been great in naming conventions, so we've tried to improve on that. So first you start with scan settings. So this gives you an ability to allow attending how many minutes before an event starts. So if you want to give the opportunity to students to come in, scan their card, and still see events that start 300 minutes ahead of time, or maybe you want to only give 30 minutes window for people, you are able to customize that. Same thing with how late students can be when attending the cards. So or typing in their name. So you're able to also adjust that value as well. Ability to not allow people to have multiple attendance records back to back. Generally most schools disable that, so they say at least 5 minutes, so the student doesn't accidentally double attend themselves into multiple events. But if you have a case in some situations, I know there are schools that actually allow back-to-back classes. So what you're able to do, you're able to set this value as 0 and just instruct your students if they want to, attend multiple classes, they would have to scan multiple times in the beginning and attend themselves to the classes they want to, go to. Display contact information for X amount of seconds. So as you saw, as I was attending myself, you saw my name, Bruce Lee, and the picture, Bruce Lee's picture, on the screen for a few seconds. You can actually adjust how many seconds you want actually that information to display. Now, why is that important? It depends really how busy your front desk area is and how many people attend themselves into classes. If you're a smaller school, you can have this value a little bit higher. If you're a very busy and big school and there's people coming back to back, you want to reduce this number to a short number of seconds. Now, obviously, during the time that the contact information is displayed, people can still attend, so it's not going to limit them. Allowing makeup class. This is an ability for you to allow your members to attend any future any classes without really them being booked into that event. So if you're one of those classes or schools that you want to allow people to just attend any kind of classes they want, you want to potentially enable this function. Allowing smart scanning by rank. This is a very smart functionality of Perfect Scan or sorry, PM Scan or check-in function. And that's really an ability for you to have the system decide where the student should go to. If you have multiple classes happening at the same time, what you're able to do, you can, in the settings window, or as you're creating those events, you're able to define what is the start and what is the end rank of that class, and also what program does it associate with. So for example, you can say this class, which is a beginner class, is for karate students from white belt to orange belt. Now, as I come in and scan my card or type in my name, the system can decide by itself of what class I'm eligible to attend and attend me into that class, instead of giving me options that are not, really related to me, right? So that's a very good function, but only should be enabled if your classes and events have been set up properly, and also your memberships have been set up properly. The way for us to know what class the student should attend to is based on their active membership. If I have an active membership in yoga, guess what? I should attend yoga classes. If I have an active membership in martial arts classes like karate, I should attend the karate classes. Now, if I have active membership on both karate and yoga, and you have classes happening at the same time for both programs, then the system will give me the option. All right, are you going to yoga or are you going to martial arts? Just because we can't decide for them. Enable image confirmation. If you guys recall, as I type in the name, I'm going to do that again. The system actually allows me to decide if this is me or not me. So that is a screen that we're talking about here. If you don't want that step at all, you can disable that. Manual event selection. So this is the area that after I say yes, the system will say which classes you want to attend to. You can, disable that if you don't want to give people the option and you want the system to decide for you. Or you can only allow it in case there are multiple events happening during the minute ranges that we talked about on top. Or you can actually have that enabled for every single time that they attend. All right, so far everyone follows me? So now a very exciting part, which is this last part, is all the alerts for self-check-in. We have different circumstances that, people come in, scan their card or type in their name, and due to a variety of reasons and information in their file, something might come up. Like, for example, in the case of Bruce Lee, you saw that it was a happy birthday message, or just a simple successfully attended message, or a variety of other stuff such as overdue invoices, they just had a recent attendance, they need more information. So this is a field that's actually on the contact that you can type in, the front desk can type in, they need a voided check, right? And every time someone scans in, until that value is deleted from their file, the system is going to notify them. And variety of other stuff from, active membership, frozen membership, no remaining sessions, and all that good stuff. Now, what we wanted to do, as I mentioned, we understand that every business is unique, and we want to give you the ability to really customize that and really fit your language, and your business and your personality more than anything else. So we give you the ability to customize the type of messages that you want to display. You can either choose to have, first of all, no message at all, so you can disable that completely. Or you can only have a text message. So as you saw, as I've attended, I'm going to go back, try to find myself, yes, choose a class. And it says welcome, right? This is a message. This is only a text message. So I can choose that I want to have only a text message and say welcome. Now, if you want to have a different alert, you can say welcome to class or enjoy your class. You can have that. You can actually just type in any information that you want to type in. And it will display if that circumstances or that criteria matches upon the attendance. You could also have audio messages as well. So with audio messages, we have a few different options available for you that you can just listen in by clicking this play button. So you can select it, group happy birthday, for example. So a group of people are going to say happy birthday. Click play so you understand what it is, and you can choose if you want that to play or not. If you don't want it to play and you only want text, well, guess what? You can just choose text. Simple enough. And again, just make sure it fits your business needs, and the ones that you don't want to show up at all, well, deactivate them. And the ones that you want to take to the next level and customize them. So for example, for need more information, it says, please see front desk. Well, some businesses might not have a person working at the front desk at all times. So it says, please see your instructor. Right? So you can customize that so it displays the appropriate message to your business. All right, good stuff. Exciting. Everyone's still excited and still with me? I hope that no one fell asleep yet. All right, so we have one more feature, and unfortunately, then we would have to end the webinar. Well, we're going to have Q&A, and then we'll end the webinar. The other feature is very, I don't know if all of you guys have encountered that situation, but I know some of you guys have encountered it, and you've asked me to really correct it. And I do apologize. It took this long, but we have corrected it for you. Now, I tell you what that feature is. It's really an enhancement, right? In some cases, as you guys know, we have two different types of transactions. We have either in-house transactions or billing direct transactions. An in-house transaction is something that you just want to take care of yourself. So it could be a cash or check. So you want people to come in, every month or every week or whatever the recurring pattern is, and provide you the payment for that membership for that transaction. Those are considered as in-house. The other type is billing direct, so that's if you want us to fully take care of your billing. Now when I say the word us, quote unquote, that could be a variety of different things. That could be an automated billing. Now you can use the merchant accounts that we provide if you want to cut the middleman and the billing companies, or as you guys might already noticed and heard about, we also connect to other billing companies as well in case you have preferences in working with others. For example, you can do have your billing go through Member Solutions or ASF. Those are also a couple of options that I'm sure most of you guys in this room are familiar with, and you can set up with PerfectMIND as well. But all the automated billing items fall under the billing direct category. Now, each transactions that you create, now these transactions obviously are created during the checkout window. So as you're selling an item or you're selling a membership and choosing the payment patterns or the payment method, the system chooses if the transaction is using a processor in-house or a processor billing direct. Again, with in-house ones, that means you have to take care of it. It's not going to be something that we take care of. You would have to come and manually record those payments for those students. Now, one thing we had in the past was that we limited in the case that a transaction was originally sold as in-house. So you've sold the membership to be paid using cash or check. All right, these are two main ones, or maybe by the default settings in the under your billing settings, you chose that you just don't want to do billing with us and everything should be in-house, right? So either one of these categories, you created a transaction that's been marked as in-house processor. In the past few, the student came in one situation that say, hey, hey, Master Nima or Master Bruce Lee, I want to, pay you my December payment that I'm still behind from 2013. By the way, this is not a good student. If Bruce Lee comes and owes you from December of 2013, you might want to have a conversation with them. But in case that happens and they come in and they want to make the payment and, build the bridges between the two, the business and themselves, and they want to give you now their credit card. They say, okay, you know what, I don't have cash with me. I don't have my checkbook. Can you just charge my credit card for just this one time? Now, in the past, we've actually didn't allow that. And the reason we didn't allow that is because we knew some people might make mistakes, which, could become a horrible situation. Now, based on the feedback that you guys have provided, we understand now that this is a great need. This happens actually, in time to time. So we wanted to give you that ability to be able to process those invoices using your credit card, even though the original processes was been in-house. So what you're able to do now, you can click Process Now. Obviously, it defaults to in-house. The reason why is because the transaction was already in-house, so it defaults to the same processes that your transaction has chosen. But what you're able to do, you're able to switch that to billing direct and either use an existing credit card that's on file, or guess what? Add a new credit card right on that screen. You type in the information, press OK, and that payment is processed, and the status will change from scheduled to completed. Obviously, I don't want to charge my credit card right now, so I'm not going to go ahead with that action. All right. That's really all we have for the features for this month. We have great features coming up also before end of this year. One very huge feature, which is a complete, change in our calendar. It's something that you're going to hear about a little bit more in the next little while. Just a quick sneak peek. The new calendar is absolutely awesome. I had the pleasure in working with it for a last little while, and you know what? I just absolutely love it. So this is how it is. It's super fast. It's fully responsive. It fits mobile devices and any type of tablets. Super customizable. It's a lot of good stuff. I don't want to distract you with this, but that's also coming up in the next couple months, and you'll hear more about it with also a complete new book me and a lot of other cool stuff. But be sure to provide us feedback so we can learn more about your needs and your experiences with our application and make it really better for you. Now this time, I'm just going to go back to questions. I know some questions have been sent already, so I'm just going to go back and read them as fast as possible and to try to answer it. But if you have any questions about any of the features we discussed today, now please, if you have questions about other features, contact our support team so they can help you out with that. But if you have questions about the features we discussed today, feel free to just type it in now and I'll do my best to answer them. So we got a few questions, starting from Rich Grogan. Well, good to see you, Rich. Will these new alerts work with PerfectScan? Rich, they will not work with PMScan, but PMScan already had these alerts. So, you kind of have them already. You can customize them, same thing as here, the audio file text messages. But these are specific, the ones you saw here today were specific to the self-check-in window. Can you customize the audio? At this point, this is from Jason. Jason, at this point, you can only choose from the options we have available to you. In future, we will give you the ability to also upload new files. But at this time, it's only from the options that you have available to you. Leah has asked, this is a long question, so I'm just going to take a second to just read it through. On the self-check-in feature, is it possible to just have that screen up without giving access to other parts of PerfectMIND? For instance, could we have it up on the iPad in the studio for the students to check themselves in? Yes, that's actually exactly why the feature has been developed. When you launch it, actually the system is going to log you out of PerfectMIND to ensure that no one can access any information. And if you want to log back in, you would have to click on this log icon to go to the login window. Now, for those of you who are going to have PerfectMIND on the same computer open and also want to have the self-check-in window open on the same computer as well, it's recommended for you to have the self-check-in window open on a different browser versus basically the PerfectMIND that you're going to work on. Just because of permission stuff, we want to make sure that people don't have the ability to somehow get to your files. So when you actually click on the self-check-in, maybe I didn't show this, as soon as you launch the self-check-in, the system will tell you. It says you will be logged out of PerfectMIND and self-check-in will launch in the secure mode, which excludes your clients from your administrative access. To use PerfectMIND on the same computer, please open up on a different internet browser. Would you like to continue? So you can have it on Chrome and Internet Explorer or Chrome and Firefox. My favorites are Chrome and Firefox. Number one is Chrome by far, as you guys see here, and then Firefox. Internet Explorer and Safari, really not that good if you ask my opinion. So hopefully that answers your question. Nate has had a quick question. When I sell a private lesson through my store, pay now is not an option. Only pay later. I can't seem to find out why. It gives me the pay now option for every except the private lessons. Now, I have a question for you, Nate. Is your private event a product or private lesson the product in under the product section, or is it an event that you sell? If you can answer that question, hopefully I'll be able to guide you towards the right direction. All right, yes, they are product, not events. Never mind, I started working on some reason. On other questions and requests, and when in a managed contact view, will it be possible to right-click on a contact's name and open their account on another window? So I'm assuming your private lesson question is already resolved, but I would, as you saw where I'm going with it, I would recommend any events that you're trying to sell it as an event. It's just going to actually make the accounting portion of it very easy as well. So what you can do, you can have a special event. If you have it customized and have a private event option as a calendar time, great. You can even split it up better. Quick, spoiler alert, on a new calendar, you can actually create your calendar types, very easily. You're going to love how you can manage your private events with a new calendar. But in case, at this time, you're able to just set a price. You can say this is one-time fee. It's $60, let's say, for a private event. And as you add an attendee to that event, the system will give you a pay now option. So you are able to record the payment for that event easily. In regards to your question about managing contacts, you know what? I actually got this question from someone else, and you're going to be very happy with the answer. Yes, there is an ability for you to right-click and open someone's file. It's just a very small trick to it. In order to do that, you have to actually go and right-click on this arrow at the end. If you right-click on this arrow, the system will give you an option to open on a new tab or a new window. But on this area where the name is, unfortunately, that's not an ability. You have to be on this arrow, as you see here. All right, now we've satisfied Nate. Let me just go find another question. RJ has asked if, I think this is regarding the dashboard, that if the past history information could it be done on retention area as well. We got that feedback, as you are aware. I think you provided that original feedback. We are working on it right now. It's not, but hopefully we can have it drilled down on the retention statistics as well. Chris has asked, will the payroll data be shown in the expense category of the dashboard? No, it will not. But what you're able to do in the expense category here, we will only show the information that you've recorded in the expense. So let's say that payroll is calculated. Payroll is just a calculation, reporting. Basically basis. So what Chris is talking about, for those of you who are not aware, on their managed staff section, you are actually able to create different payroll records. So you can say that, hey, my student my instructor Thomas Hogan, I want to give him different pay rates for us to calculate his pay based on variety of different types. We've covered this on last month's release. There's videos about it if you haven't been able to understand it fully. But when that's done, we just calculate the pay. Now, in the case that you want to now make sure that it shows up on your expenses, what you would have to do, you would actually have to record that as an expense. So you can say pay to Thomas for January, let's say, and then you can select that, cost $80, you pay cash and category, and you can create a new category called pay. Right, so this way, basically, you'll be able to track things a little bit better. Hopefully that answers your question, Chris. Dominic has asked, why after all these past updates, the program still doesn't update promotions to book the students to their next class? So I believe, Dominic, you're asking in regards to, in a case that the student is booked into certain class, let's say for white belt classes, and now they go to yellow belt, you want the system to automatically reschedule people to the yellow belt classes. If that's something that happens in your curriculum, what I would suggest is you can leave the attendance to the system itself. You don't have to have people booked into events for it to work properly. The system is smart enough based on people's memberships and ranks to decide if they're eligible to attend the class or not. So you don't actually have to have them booked, but you have a great feedback, and that's something that has been come up. It just hasn't come up as often. Obviously we go based on majority. So if this is something that's very important for you, I highly recommend, submitting it as a feedback. Here you can do that on the top right-hand side, clicking on feedback button and typing that information. So another vote is added to that feature. But keep in mind that you actually don't need the feature. You don't need rebooking people into events. As long as they come in, they type in their name, scan their card, and as long as your events have been set up properly, and as long as the student has the right membership, the system will make all those decisions for you. All right, a lot of thank yous that I'm going through. RG has asked, what happens if a student is not scheduled for a class if makeup classes are not enabled? Very good question. It's really based on variety of settings. It's not just based on makeup. It's also based up allows smart scanning by rank. If this function is enabled and your membership or classes are set up, it still will work. What makeup will allow is even if there's no events at all, also still an attendance record is created, if that answers your question. So for those of you who haven't really built your schedule yet, in the system, you are able to allow this. Or also if you want to allow people to attend even if there's no classes that fit their scanning ranges for rank, that will also come handy as well. So hopefully that answers your question. Leah has said that makes sense now. Thank you. That's awesome. Awesome that you've attended and awesome that made sense. RJ has a lot of questions. Can same stats be done with retention too? Yeah, you've asked. Yeah, as I mentioned, we are looking into actually, offering that in near future. Chris, will payroll, we've talked about that. It's an expense scatter. Yes, Chris, I've explained again, as if you record those as expenses, it'll show up there. Just go into more questions here. Just wanted to say it's nice how you guys are constantly making things visually more appealing, like the pop-up box, actions under invoices, also small things like receipts that now have description of the discount of the receipt and the size, color, and product size. Rob, we love you. Thank you. Thank you for noticing the little things we do. Just for everyone in this room to know, we're a company that we're committed to always becoming better and making things better, and we're never going to stop. So we've actually, I know I've said this multiple times, but we still increase actually our development size. Officially now we spend about $3 or $3.5 million a year just on development of the product itself. So we want to continuously make things better for you. We have new graphic designers, we have new UI and UX designers and developers to be able to make each action that you make on PerfectMIND easier, better, for it to make more sense, for the wording to make more sense, and for the features to be there to help you run your business better. Our objective is, at the end of the day, is to deliver a product that fits your business needs so well and helps you get on the mat, getting on your training floor, getting, and working on tasks that you should do more to be able to grow your business, from your marketing efforts to teaching better classes to having, networking with more people and having really the system to take care of the task for you. So again, thank you, Rob, for noticing, and we'll continue in developing and making things better for you guys. RJ has asked, will they get a note saying see instructor if makeup attendance is made? No, they will not. For makeup attendance, it's just essentially the same as successfully attended message. But what you're able to do for no events found, so if you don't have the makeup activated and you want that to happen, so I recommend not allowing makeup and saying under no event found, having that message to say please see instructor, and then the instructor can choose if they should attend them to a class or not. I hope that makes sense. All right, I'm officially out of questions. Um, so again, thank you everyone for attending. I'll give it a couple more minutes just in case you have questions. Just to let you know, we have actually, if you go on our lounge, on Champions Way Lounge, we're just going to go quickly there, and also very soon on our Facebook page, we have the description of all the features that we talked about today. Sorry. Let me just scroll down to the bottom of the page here. You'll be able to see Lounge on the right-hand side. And as you see, we have the October 2014 new feature release. If you click on Read More, you will get a little description of each feature that we've just talked about today and a very descriptive video on how to utilize them. In addition to that, if you click on the Help icon in PerfectMIND, you'll be able to actually see all those new features that we talked about as well. If you see on Recently Updated, New Self Check-In, your Smart Dashboard, all these features that we talked about with, again, full description of how they work, how they function, and how to take advantage of them. So be sure to watch this material and read and watch the video and give us feedback on all of our material as well. We would like to, in the same way that we're making the product better, we would like to deliver better training material for you guys as well. CJ has asked that if you can make custom check-in alerts. So by custom, I guess you mean a new item or new criteria? No, you can't make something you just basically very unique criteria. It would have to fall within one of these options. But I'm just curious to know if you think there should be another alert in the system that would help you and other business owners, feel free to actually submit it to us as feedback. If it's something that makes sense, we would be more than happy to add them there so you can interact with it quite easily. But in terms of customizing the message that shows, obviously, yes, you can do that. All right, I think we're officially answered all the questions. Well, again, thank you for attending this webinar. And on behalf of Champions Way and PerfectMIND, we wish you all the best today and for the rest of the week. And enjoy all these new features. And we'll see you next month. Thank you.